Good evening, City of Oak Hill. Welcome to the City Commission meeting. Will now come to order. If we all could please stand for a moment of silence and pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Please be seated. Roll call.
Commissioner Hyatt.
Here.
Vice Mayor Matagano.
Here.
Commissioner Dollinger.
Here.
Mayor Taylor.
Here.
Commissioner Warning.
Here.
Also present are City Attorney Mike Kelly, City Manager John Berkeley, and myself.
All right, welcome everyone. We'll start off with agenda modifications. Commission opportunity to add, move, or remove items from the agenda. Is there any adding or moving?
I would just like to bring up a few follow-up questions from previous meetings, and we can add it under old
Under old business?
business.
Okay. Do we have a census to add that to old business? From council, any questions? All right. That moves on to add to old business under item
G,
G. Let's see, there's a A, B, or C. Yeah, we can do G too.
yeah.
Very good. All right. If there's nothing else, moving on to presentations. I have a proclamation here to start off with. And let's see, proclamation, City of Oak Hill, Florida, Constitution Week 2025. Whereas September 17th to the 23rd, 2025 marks the 238th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to officially recognize this magnificent document in the anniversary of its creation, and whereas it is fitting and proper to officially recognize the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate the occasion, and whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of the proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designating September 17th through 23rd as Constitutional Week. And now, therefore, I, Ricky Taylor, Mayor of the City of Oak Hill, do hereby proclaim September 17th through the 23rd of 2025 to be Constitutional Week in Oak Hill, and ask our citizens to reaffirm the idea the framers of the Constitution had in 1787. And witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Oak Hill, Florida, to be affixed on this first day of September 2023. Ricky Taylor. Thank you. Next we have Mary Jo Rappel for a chaplain, American Legion. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I represent St. Vincent de Paul, which is our food distribution that serves Oak Hill, Edgewater, and New Smyrna. And you probably don't realize how many people in Oak Hill we do serve, and a lot of them do come up on Wednesday or Saturday to pick up their food, which we appreciate. Because of the distances that we go into New Smyrna and doing it on the same day, and we are all volunteers, every single one of us. I don't put in the drive that our home visiting team does, and they put quite a few miles. And we can always stand quite a few more volunteers. We're just waiting for the snowbirds to arrive back, just gritting our teeth. Anyways, every Monday, if you would like to see a show of teamwork, we have about 10 people that put together 60 sets which are 2 bags to each set of groceries every Monday morning, even if it's a holiday. They insist they come in and they want to do this. And that's approximately how many families we feed that week. Now, if we have a family greater than 6 and greater, they get 2 sets of those bags. They also get whatever the government has sent us. Like right now, we have a 2-pound bag of shrimp there. Sometimes we get cases and cases of grapes, peaches. We also get a lot of beans from the government. There's stew on the shelf. Their food is on one side of the pantry, and what we get from Second Harvest, which we buy.
Okay, you do work with Second Harvest. Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yes, every other Tuesday. We used to go every week, but we now go, and we concentrate more on meat than, nothing's really changed, except we don't get toilet paper anymore, which I don't know why that's not essential. It's hard to tell people, no, I'm sorry, we don't have toilet paper. And, but anyways, I'm on the phone team service, and I volunteer every Thursday or whenever they need me. And we also have some people that I have a special girl that comes in. She comes because she likes me. And they've tried to struggle with her to get her to come on Wednesdays. But she can't hear, she's deaf and basically mute. She does read lips, so she can't use a phone. So we have her down, I know exactly what Thursday she's going to come in, and I usually have her bags ready. Right now they're getting about 5 pieces of meat, and our meats come from Publix, which has been frozen before it outdated. And we tell our people, that all of it is outdated, but it was froze before it was outdated. Nothing on the shelves is outdated, absolutely nothing. Now, we have a lot of things that are donated. Sacred Heart Catholic Women's, once a month they have their meeting, and they all bring something in. And then their president brings it down to us. We have to really scrutinize those dates. I mean, it's amazing, people go through their cupboards and just pull anything and everything. And then when the snowbirds leave, we get all of their stuff too. The food kitchen up in New Smyrna at the Methodist Church, they have what guidelines they follow as to what they can use and what they can't use. So most of it we will send up to them unless it's a couple years old, and then we do throw it away, unfortunately. I have with me copies of like with the First United Methodist Church, they would have to be able to drive. Okay, a lot of our people don't drive, and that's why they have to have their food delivered to them. The food pantries, ours is listed first. And like I said, we answer the phone from 10 until 1:30. And then we have a half-hour time to fill the bags for the next day. We pick up bread and pastry that outdates that day from Publix in Edgewater, the one on 44, and the one on Beachside. 3 different times. Our poor people on Thursdays, we do everything in our power to struggle because we pick up on Monday, Friday, and Saturday. And so we do everything we can to make sure the people on Thursday get bread and pastry. If I have people that are driving and do have the access, I encourage them, because our food is only a supplement. And we tell them that this isn't going to help you for the whole month. You're only getting 5 pieces of meat, which if it's one person, which our bigger families get 10 pieces of meat. But there's gifts of love. I know they're open every Thursday, and I do know they pick up bread and pastry 4 times a week at Edgewater Publix. And they can come, I'm not exactly sure, once a month they can get a large amount of food, and then every Thursday they can go and pick up bread, pastry, and fruits or vegetables if they have them. I also send people up to the First United Methodist Church of Edgewater, and they have food every Saturday that people can just go to the side door, register, and they can go every Saturday. Okay. I also have our cards, and any person I see along the road or sitting there, most of them are gone from Walmart now, but I wind down my passenger window and I ask them if they need food. And I hand them a card. Call this number. We will bring food to wherever you are. We just had a call on Thursday. They're homeless. There's a lot of homeless behind the Publix on 44. And the guy wanted to meet us at Denny's. So we said, that's fine. If Denny's approved, we were okay with that too. So I haven't heard what the results of that was, but if we had to take it to the back of Publix, fine. So I'm gonna leave these for you, okay? Like I said, I carry them in my car all the time, okay? Is there any questions?
Is there a place where we can donate?
Absolutely, St. Gerard's Church. That's where our office,
St.
which
Gerard's.
Sacred Heart, St. Gerard's is one church. Sacred Heart's our mother church, we're the mission church, but the office for the pantry is at St. Gerard's.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Now,
Thank you for having me.
You were saying you needed volunteers,
We need volunteers.
and is that for Monday's packing?
Monday's packing is good, but we can all, we need for home visiting, believe it, and 2 people always go out together. We never go out alone.
And what days do you do the packing?
Just Mondays
And where at?
at St. Gerard's.
Okay. And what
Okay.
time?
They're usually there by 8:30, latest 9 o'clock,
Okay.
and they are throwing bags together.
Sure. Okay.
But they do a great job, and it makes it, and then, like, on Thursdays when I volunteer, I add anything extra, because Publix will give us damaged boxes of crackers and cookies and stuff like that. But they're not, we try to tape up them so they don't look bad.
Sure.
But most of them are just, maybe they're gonna outdate in a month or something. But they're already getting rid of them. And we put those in. But otherwise, like with Friday, we have no bread. The other teams have to put the bread and the pastries in. But Thursday, there's nothing left. It all went out by Thursday morning. So the new bread and pastry is coming in on Friday. And the team puts it in before they take it out. And we also offer, no, I shouldn't say that. We did offer laundry detergent, dish detergent, but I understand that's coming to an end. I assume and I should never do that either, have 2 bars of soap, which we call toiletries, 2 tubes of toothpaste, little ones, and deodorant.
Nice.
Everything's just getting so expensive. The laundry detergent that we get everything from Dollar Tree. And they went from those $1.25 bottles to bottles now that they're charging $5. And we just told everybody we can't do it. You have any more
Do you
questions?
coordinate with the Recovery Church at all?
The what? I'm sorry?
Do you coordinate with the Recovery Church
I have
in
not
Oak Hill?
heard. I have not heard of that. I've heard. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yes, Carrie. Yes.
I tried to put her together. I had asked Danya to come to the meeting so that I could put her with Mary Jo.
Good. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Danya didn't come this evening, but
She'll be in later.
I'll make sure she gets your phone number.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
have
that
it.
the 2 of you can.
You have it. Yes. But it's very gratifying. If you can come, if you've got computer skills, we can use it in the office. Whatever time, whatever day. You could do it. Saturdays, no one's in there but the guys doing the pickups. That's all. And we're there Monday to Friday in the office. Okay?
All right.
Thank
you, Mary Jo. Thank you.
Thank
very much.
Citizens' participation, public input, non-agenda items. If you wish to speak during public participation, please fill out the form found at the table in the back and place it in the basket by the clerk. Do we have any speak?
Mr. Bonds?
Neil Bonds, 295 Indian Creek Road. You'll be happy to know I'm not here with a complaint or
Yay!
even a concern for once. Fellowship of Christian Athletes. is going to do their first saltwater tournament in Volusia County on November 1st. They're trying to get these young boys and girls out of the video games, out of the monotony that they're living in these schools, and get some of them out on the water. It's on our page, Indian Mountain Facebook. I also have the flyers in the bait shop. There's several ways to sponsor. All the entrance fees are all being returned as prizes. Some of the sponsorships will go to FCA directly after all the costs have been covered, but every single dollar from an entry fee goes directly to prizes to the kids. 18 years old and under. They are looking for sponsorships. They are also, I believe, looking for a couple of people that don't necessarily have to be a captain, but you have to be over 18. You're covered by their insurance. They have a blanket insurance policy to take, because we have some kids that they want to go, they want to do the tournament, don't have a boat, don't have, we're loaning out kayaks for the tournament for ones that just want to jump on a kayak. But if anybody knows somebody that has a boat and say, hey, this seems like a good cause to me, I like to see the local kids getting out here and enjoying the lagoon, seeing the water, having a fun competition, and putting the cell phone down for a minute and seeing God's beauty out there. And whoever I take will probably win, but that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
They're gonna be going out at the fish camp?
At a River Breeze Park.
Out of
They got the
River Breeze.
permits from the county. The tournament will be held at a River Breeze Park.
Okay.
On
How about more
November the
kayaks?
1st.
November 1st.
Yeah.
More kayaks, could you guys use more kayaks?
I think I'm all right. I have like 20 kayaks. So I think I'm all right on kayaks. If I find out from the lady leading the tournament that she has a bigger demand for kayaks, then I'll surely let you know. But I think we're going to be okay on kayaks. I think there's going to be more that, some of these kids are 17 and 18. Some of them have spent a little bit of time on the water with an uncle or something like that. And they want to, some of them want to get on a boat. And they just don't have a dad or an uncle available to get them out on a boat and get them on the water. Short tournament, I think it ends at noon.
Okay.
Back at the ramp. So it's not a long, arduous day. And it just looks like it's going to be a fun thing, and it's the first one. So I'm trying to get it where it gets some gravity going, and we get these kids out on this lagoon. We get these kids out fishing. We get these kids out looking at the wildlife and enjoying the outdoors, and understanding that life's not all wrapped up in cell phones and Instagram and who said who about what. Get them to see some real joy in life.
Both our girls are part of that program. It's a great program.
It is a great program, and it's not just for athletes.
That's right.
So, it says Fellowship of Christian Athletes, but it's for really any student that wants to come to the meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil.
Can you get me that flyer? I'll post it.
I will have Kelly send it to you.
Thank you.
And it's good to see you walking.
Oh, yeah. If I don't ram into the chair and fall down.
Falls down.
I didn't see nothing.
Lord's got me on my feet. I'm amazed.
All right. Any other speakers?
Anybody else wishing to speak?
Okay, moving on to consent agenda, meeting minutes. Start off with August 25th, 2025, commission meeting.
August 25th appeared to be fine.
Everybody is agreeing on the
Agreed.
25th?
That one was okay.
How about the 28th of August?
Nope, on the 28th,
John was not here. Right?
No.
For the first budget.
For the budget workshop.
Yeah.
no, on the second page, under several changes were made, my name was spelt as Warren,
Oh,
W-A-R-R-E-N.
They all know who you are.
And I'd like that corrected.
it'll be corrected.
Okay.
Okay.
And September 28th?
That's great.
September
8th, I'm sorry.
Yes. Okay, under September 8th, under old business, I've been called a lot of things, but a he is not one of them. So I would like that changed to she instead of he.
Add a S.
And also, under the comments and concerns, there was a statement that was put in there that's, the statement said, there is a statement, participants for the breast cancer walk will receive shirts. That was not said, and it's incorrect. To clarify this up, shirts can be purchased at a separate fee for $15, and the walk to sign up is $10.
Got it, thank you.
All of the money will go to the Oak Hill Team fundraiser for Making Strides, Volusia Flagler Daytona Beach Walk, and the majority of the donations will stay in our local community.
Very nice. Okay.
And Linda found one.
Yeah, it's Commissioner Drollinger. He was out.
No, the one on,
Mentions Brenda Roberts.
yeah,
Oh, Brenda Deweese.
It says Brendan instead of Brenda.
Okay.
yes.
So there was somewhere, there was a question about the community garden. And actually, the community garden and the Oak Hill Garden Club are two separate entities. You know that.
Yes.
Okay. Both of them will be willing to help, I'm sure, but.
But those items need to be corrected.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that all? Wasn't that all?
That was the only ones that I picked up.
Okay,
You actually found two I didn't.
we got it covered then.
All right, so do we have a consent, or actually we'll go for a vote to accept the minutes?
Yeah, I'll make those corrections.
All
Sorry about
right.
that.
So we have,
On the, I guess this is the, hang on. August 25th. They had Brenda Deweese written down as Brendan.
Yeah.
We just mentioned
Yeah.
that.
Other than that, that's about it.
okay. So along with those changes, do we have a motion to accept the minutes?
So move.
I'll second it,
All
as
right.
long with changes made.
All right, roll call?
Commissioner Hyatt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Patagano,
Yes.
Commissioner Drollinger,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
City Administrator?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, commissioners, and staff, and distinguished visitors this evening. You have a written report in front of you, and there are copies of the report on the back table as well. We took the initiative to start a reporting process so that folks are going to know when to expect a report to come out, and we're posting it online as well. Eventually, we'll catch up to the point where it can be included in the packet, but because we send the packet out a week before, certain things come up sometimes that preclude us from having the most updated information possible at the meetings themselves. But nevertheless, we're gonna post my report online. If there is any sensitive information having to do with names and addresses and the like, we'll certainly respect the sensitivity of that information and won't publish anything that might be of concern to folks about properties and names and addresses and that kind of thing. So you can look for that to come out the week before each regular meeting. Please watch on the website. I think it's up there now.
It's on the front page.
And I believe Megan will be putting the newsletter out here within a couple of days, and that will be included as well. There's a litany of issues. I won't go through each one of them at the regular meetings. I'm happy to follow up with citizens if they have concerns about matters that aren't on the list, because the list isn't necessarily exhaustive. It doesn't cover everything. I'm compiling it and providing updates to it so it stays like a living, breathing document, as they say. We can update it from time to time to make sure that everybody understands what progress and what progress has not been made and what progress has been made on certain issues of concern and priority to the commissioners, to me, to the staff, and to the citizens. I'm also pleased if you call me or contact me, email me, to come out and do site visits if you have concerns, not only about code enforcement and those kinds of issues, planning and that, but just general concerns about the quality of life and the enjoyment of life in the city of Oak Hill. I'm happy to talk to you offline about those things. really anytime at your convenience. So if people are listening in, watching, folks here in the audience, if you have concerns, let me know. Eventually, I'm going to start to schedule, a day a week to the best, as best I can, so that I can block out, a day to visit folks and learn kind of on the ground about the issues that people who live in Oak Hill are concerned with. So, with that, two things I wanted to bring up. We're still looking at the speed bump issue. It got a little bit more complicated the more we looked into it, having to do with miles per hour, the grades of the speed bumps, the styles, and really the need for them at all. We're really going back and looking at this thing from square one to see whether that's the best remedy for some of the issues that folks have been voicing to us about speeding. We've talked with the sheriff's office about the law enforcement aspect of that. We have a follow-up meeting to the workshop that we had last week with the sheriff's office tomorrow. So we're going to talk through that issue as one of the issues on the agenda, but also how we can better fuse our code enforcement efforts with the law enforcement efforts and team up and work together to really make a difference here with some of the concerns that have been voiced by residents for years, is my understanding. Some things have festered for far too long. So we are paying attention. I want folks to know that we're going to be as proactive as we can when it comes to enforcement. We're not going to, we're not going to just look at tall weeds and say, uh-oh, we better get out there and do something. We're going to go and take a look, make sure that we're aware of the thing before they get to the point of having to be at the commissioner's table at a regular meeting. And our staff member, Pete Henson, has hit the ground running. He came to Oak Hill with a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge about the terrain here. And so he's been a big help to us already. A lot of the cases had languished for a time, and we're picking back up with things. So you can be confident that we're paying attention here to some of the things that have been going on, and we'll be as proactive as possible. With that, again, my report's on the back table. Commissioners have a copy of the written report. It's posted online. Happy to answer any questions from citizens offline anytime it might be convenient. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Great, thank you, John. Yeah, this is really nice that you put that together for us. Appreciate it. There's nothing else. Moving on to old business. Item number 1, public hearing. Adoption of fiscal year 2025-2026 final budget and millage rate.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, City Attorney advises that the resolution can be read in by title
Okay,
to the record, and not necessarily verbatim, unless that's your preference.
that will be fine.
All right, with that, this is final millage resolution, hearing number 2, resolution number 2025-06, a resolution of the City of Oak Hill of Volusia County, Florida, adopting the final levying of ad valorem taxes for Volusia County for fiscal year 2025-2026, providing for an effective date.
All right. Do we have any, well, I guess first we would have to get a motion to accept before we go into questions.
Mr. Mayor, the resolutions have also been duly noticed, reviewed by the city attorney as well. Just wanted to add that.
Thank you.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the existing millage rate for 25-26, means that the millage rate will not be changing.
I'll second.
At the top of it where it says resolution 2025-06, that's just a number. It doesn't have to be 26.
Correct, it's the number in line.
Okay, got it, okay. All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Do any further discussion with council? Do we have any discussion from the citizens? All right, go for a vote.
Commissioner Warning?
Yes.
Mayor Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Donovan?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Patagano?
Yes.
Commissioner Hyatt?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, moving on to next item, which is 1B. Resolution number 2025-07 of the City of Oak Hill, Volusia County, Florida, adopting the final budget for fiscal year 2025-2026, providing for an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Okay, have a motion to approve.
Second that.
We have a second. Any further discussion from council? Any discussion from the citizens? Okay, not at this time, go for a vote.
Commissioner Hyatt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Patagano?
Yes.
Commissioner Donovan?
Yes.
Mayor Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Warning?
No.
Okay, moving on to new business, oh, actually, we got follow-up, Carrie, G2.
Oh, okay. Some questions I have, John, following up. On the 8/28/25 budget workshop, Joe had made a request for a forensic audit to examine the city's financial records because of the longstanding comments and things that have been made. The commission asked you to check into the cost for that services so that the commission could make a decision if we wanted to pursue this or not. Have you managed to get a cost from a forensic auditor, a professional auditor?
I don't have 3 bids, but I do have a cost estimate that is within the threshold of my purchasing authority under the city code.
Okay, so are you planning on doing something on your own without the commission's?
Of course not.
Oh, okay. Are you bringing it before the commission sometime soon?
Yeah, I'd be happy. As a matter of fact, I would bring it before the commission, even if it was within my purchasing authority,
Okay,
just to make sure everybody's square. Yeah.
okay. Also, you had mentioned that the audit report from CAR was going to be presented at tonight's meeting. I'm assuming we have still not received the audit report?
We have received the audit report as of 2 days ago, 3 days ago, excuse me.
Mhm.
And it's scheduled for the October 27th city commission meeting.
Okay, 10,
And I
20.
apologize for not having that in my report. I thought I did. It's probably not in my.
And do you have copies for all of us so we have a chance
Yes,
to
you
read
do.
it?
Yeah, you'll have ample time
Okay,
to review it before the presentation on the 27th.
okay. And I don't remember the date, but you were going to create a report for Ricky, Mark, Linda, and myself regarding that meeting that you and Joe had had with Mr. Bartlett. I never got any information. I don't know if anybody else ever did. Can you just give me an update of when you might
Yeah, if
be
you look
able
at
to
my
supply us that
city
information?
administrator's report, you'll find the content from the it's sort of a amalgamation of my meetings. When I do my report now, which is new, and so we all have to kind of work together to make it fit what the commission needs. But when I report on something in my city administrator's report, it will reflect the meetings that I've had, not necessarily in that specificity, but I can do that. I can certainly break it out so that the city knows when the meetings were, rather than just the content that I'm reporting on in my report. I'm
Okay.
happy to do either.
Okay, and the last thing I have is at the 8/25 meeting, Mayor Taylor and the commission requested that you get formal quotes for the towable man lift and the enclosed utility trailer, and there was none of that information. He had asked for it to be in this packet on the 25th, and
Yes,
So
We
if
have-
that could be,
We are still doing our due diligence. We met with a couple of local citizens, and Travis will have that information to me to have with the commission a week before the October 13th commission meeting. Apologize for the delay again. I know that we had pledged to have that to you sooner
okay.
than that.
Okay, well, those are the only follow-up questions that I had on prior meetings.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right, moving on to new business. Ordinance number 2025-01, first reading, extending the one-year moratorium of city accepting any applications for residential planning unit development, RPUD zoning.
Good evening, Commissioners. In consultation with the city manager, we've moved forward with preparing an initial proposed ordinance regarding extension of the city's moratorium of the RPUD zoning. Before we get into the actual discussion as far as how the city would like to move forward with this, just as a base overview, as after reviewing this, the entire field of moratoriums as far as any kind of zoning regulations that's been preempted by Senate Bill 180. So our ability to extend this moratorium has effectively been eliminated. That's the bad news. The good news is it's not really necessary either. As far as the scope of the city's prior moratorium, it only applied to accepting new applications. While we could not prevent people from submitting an application, it still would be within the discretion of the commission as to how they wish to proceed with those applications. So the commission would have the ability, obviously, to review these on a case-by-case basis, but with the overarching consideration that there may be some issues that need to be resolved as far as the city's RPUD ordinance. The city can make, or the commission can, again, vote on each one of these applications should they come in. And at that time, the city could make or the commission could make a decision to deny any one of these applications just simply based on, again, we have some issues with our RPUD zoning ordinance, which at this point in time, we are unable to amend due to the Senate Bill 180. So for those reasons, we're going to deny this application, and that would be perfectly legitimate. So long story short, I feel that if we were to move forward with extending the ordinance, we'd be putting ourselves in the position where we may incur some liability based upon this new Senate Bill 180. There are provisions for attorney's fees in the event the city enacts something that is within the area of preemption under the statute. There is a brief cure period, but at the same time, I don't know if the city really wants to. I mean, again, it would be your vote. Whether or not we would want to enact something that is basically paper thin. Somebody comes in and files an application, and we're inclined to immediately pull a piece of legislation that we filed. So with that, that's more or less where we're at with this.
So your recommendation really is not to do the moratorium, but address it should a developer come in with a request.
Absolutely. So again, we can address these on a case-by-case basis as they come in. I think that by doing a moratorium, we're just walking into the fan blade of the piece of legislation that was just filed. It doesn't, in effect, prevent us from doing the same thing should a developer file an application seeking to rezone to RPUD. You know, this is at the discretion of the commission, and it's a political decision in terms of how a piece of property is rezoned. So long as the commission's decision is supportable as far as, the standard is fairly debatable, which is the lowest possible standard. All we'd have to establish is that there is some reason, for example, we need to revise our RPUD ordinance, and we can't because of this SB 180. You're going to have to pick a different zoning category in order to deny one of these applications. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
So just to clarify again, it would be my recommendation that we not move forward with the moratorium.
Well, so long as we still have the ability to reject a developer and not be held liable, should John Doe walk in off the road and say, I want to change the zoning for property X down the street to RPUD?
Yeah.
Make it a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, as long as we aren't in trouble there, I don't have an issue with it.
And we wouldn't be in trouble anyway if we used the curing period, I guess is what you called it.
Yeah, so there is a 2-week period with which we could withdraw the moratorium. And I mean, again, that's an option if you guys would like to proceed with the moratorium.
If SB 180 gets overturned by one of the pending litigations, which there's many, then if we had this already in place, we'd already be good, but
That would be an option.
what would it take to get it in place after that?
After so you're saying in the event the pending legislation.
Let's say we go with your recommendation and then SB 180 gets overturned because of one of these pending cases, then how long, I can't remember how long it took Simpson to do this.
My understanding is there's a notice period. I believe it's like 4 to 6 weeks in order to get this fully enacted. So again, you know,
We
at
have,
that point in time,
okay.
you know, we could move forward with that. Should we choose to move forward with that?
What about other issues like R1?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Well, you're saying that if somebody comes with an RPUD, all we have to do is say we don't want to approve the zoning because we don't, for whatever reason, you gave a couple that we could use. And what about an R1, somebody wants to come in and put quarter-acre lots, like what our comp plan says? Can we say we're currently interested in reviewing our comp plan and we're not approving it? Because we want it to be half-acre.
So I think that would fall within a different category. You know, we're talking about in that case, what are the possible uses under a specific zoning category? Once somebody has the property, has the zoning on the property, they're entitled to develop within the confines of what that zoning gives them, right? So with R1, you've got your quarter-acre lots. However, if they were to say have an R1 and they say, oh, well, we want to bump it up to R2 to get a little bit more density, and they're not necessarily an RPUD, but something with just a little bit more, you would still have the same argument. You know, at this point in time, we don't feel that this rezoning would fit the character of our community. And that would be sufficient to deny an application.
So basically, only in a case where the zoning is requested to be changed.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, once you have the zoning itself, those rights are held by the applicant. We can't take those rights away, but we can, you know, if they want to request additional rights on top of that by increased density in their zoning, we can tell them no.
I had brought to your attention that we need to and want to change our comp plan, but understanding under SB 180, unless it is overturned, any changes that we would make would not be effective for 3 years. And I had inquired with you about the idea of actually starting to work on our comp plan so that 3 years from now, we can say, okay, we got our new comp plan and SB 180's all gone and we're ready to go. I think that's something that we should seriously think about, working on our comp plan so that if in a year from now or 3 years from now, SB 180 is either overturned or its time frame runs out and we're allowed to make those changes, we're prepared and we're not starting at that point a year or 3 years down the road to make those changes to our comp plan. I'd like to see us start working on it so that whenever the law changes and we can make those changes in our comp plan, that we actually can hit the road running at that point in time.
I think that that would be a viable plan. And I know that a lot of these comprehensive planning changes take some time. It's not, an overnight matter in terms of adjusting some of these things. So I think that that's a really good suggestion, would be to initiate the process of these comprehensive changes that the commission and the public would like to see, and then approve them contingent upon expiration of this time frame of SB 180. So then at that point in time, we have something that is ready to rock, but we're not necessarily, running into the prohibitions of this legislation. And then also with the potential chance that this is overturned on appeal, at that point, we've already got a head start. So the enactment could be, or the amendment could be made contingent upon the expiration or, appeal of SB 180.
I have one other question. SB 180 says we cannot make something more difficult for a developer, basically. In our comp plan states that we own 78 acres of the Canaveral National Seashore, which at one time, back in the 60s, the city of Oak Hill purchased that property over there. However, the federal government came in and we all know that Cape Canaveral National Seashore is federal land. It is not city of Oak Hill's property. That 78 acres is in our comp plan as our parks, as part of our parks. And it is included in the calculations of open spaces that these developers use. Can we remove that 78 acres from the comp plan? Because we don't own that property. The federal government owns that property. The city doesn't. It is not a city park. Can we not violate SB 180 and remove that from our comp plan? That way, any developer that comes in, their open spaces, the calculations for their open spaces changes. But it changes properly because we do not own 78 acres of land.
So my understanding is that what Senate Bill 180 addresses are regulations that add additional, burdens.
Burden to
Yeah,
the developer.
exactly. So I think in this case, this is not necessarily increasing regulation. This isn't amending or creating some new requirement, decreasing density, anything like that. I think that that is something that likely could be done without running into the preemption issue. I think we may have some other things we may have to navigate with that, but I do remember that was something that was suggested by former city administrator Shearer. I thought it was a great idea as well.
Could you check into that and find
Absolutely.
out? Because we don't own that 78 acres.
Well, we're required to have so much park, so
We are required to have so much parkland.
you'll have to know what
which
the
is-
ratio is.
Which is also one reason I wanted to convert the Powell property to change the zoning on that to make it a city park.
Got it.
So that would be additional land that we would have as city park.
That'd be a good trade. But
You know.
still, I know what you were asking, but
Mhm.
we also need to follow up on how much park property we should have also.
Well, it may
before we-
also come into the situation that the city may have to purchase more land for parks to meet our requirement for the density of the people that we have in our city. We have to have so many acres of
Correct.
parkland and open space. So it may come down to the fact that we have to, somewhere along the way, purchase additional property to be city parkland. But if I'm not mistaken, I want to say the Powell property is somewhere around 4 acres of land, roughly. Between the 3 parcels, I want to say it's like 3 to 4 acres, because they're separate individual parcels. But by converting that from the current zoning to city park, it is increasing our parkland that we actually do own. And that property, we could utilize that property for so many events. So that's another thing to think about, rezoning that property to a park.
We can think about it.
Yep.
So I guess at this point in time, Mayor, what we should do, I guess, would be to read the ordinance in by title and then open it.
Or a motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like me to read the title?
Absolutely.
All right. This is ordinance 2025-01. An ordinance of the City of Oak Hill, Volusia County, Florida, extending for a period of 1 year the moratorium enacted by ordinance 2024-10 on the city's acceptance of any application for a residential plan unit development, RPUD zoning, providing for legislative findings, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you.
So I make a motion that we do not accept this ordinance at this point in time.
Just table it. Can we table it indefinitely?
I mean, you could, if that's what you'd like to do.
Why not?
Sure, we can table it.
Okay. So that way we still have it on the book, you know.
Right. Well, wouldn't we still have it? We've got it pre-written. The number might change,
I
but,
think the only thing with tabling it is this is written as an extension of a previous moratorium. I think that if we bring it back, we would have to enact a new
Do a
one.
new one.
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Yeah. Okay.
so you made a motion,
Not accepted.
to not accept it?
okay,
Second.
we have a second. Any further discussion from council?
Well, I think it's something that's important for the city to have to show what their intention is and what they want. And by not making this into a rule, because like you said, there's no risk involved. And we're not really being clear to developers and to the public on what this commission's intentions are. So that's what I think.
Any other discussion? Any discussion from the citizens? Okay, go for a vote.
Commissioner Warning?
Yes.
Mayor Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Drollinger?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Catagano?
No.
Commissioner Hyatt?
Yes.
City Attorney.
I have no updates since the last time we spoke.
Okay. Boards and committee.
Thank you. I have to agree. Oh, you know my name and address. Mike Arman, Magdalene, Economic Development Director. I think that we got good advice from our attorney on this thing because SB 180 is a hand grenade with a pin that's right on the edge. And I have always said, if at first you don't succeed, try doing what your lawyer told you in the first place. But whatever, okay. Last week, Mr. Barkley and I attended the State of the State address at Brannan Center. One of the speakers was Sean Snaith, who is an economics professor at UCF. He talked about a lot of national economics, and if you ever get a chance to listen to him, do. He's very, very good. He's a very good speaker, very knowledgeable. Someone was there from Florida Department of Commerce, and you've heard this number before. There's 1,000 people a day moving to Florida. We got to put them somewhere. We've had some success with guided development. The Uniton property is going very nicely. We've had others that were not quite as successful, but whatever. Anyway, he said he had one statistic which really surprised me. I've been around a long time. It takes a lot to shock me. Commissioner Hyatt claims I remember riding dinosaurs back and forth to school. I don't know if that's slander or not, but whatever. 38% of the school-age children in Oak Hill, that's 170 children, are living in poverty. Living in poverty. That's the highest of the entire area. Now, I don't know what to do about it, but I'm telling you, we ought to make some effort to identify who they are and do something about it, because that really upset me.
What do you suggest we do?
I don't know yet. I'm still thinking about, first we have to find them. And I'm thinking that we should talk to the churches, we should talk to people in the community who are involved. We should also talk to the school. Identify them, find out what they need, connect them with resources. I mean,
I know Burns already gives them free breakfast and free lunch if they're eligible. Everybody gets free breakfast.
okay,
I think free lunch is on an eligibility factor
but this is
at this point, but clothing and things like that, we just need to do that as a community.
this is
Just get together and do
something.
it.
This is something we need to do. And I'm not sure exactly what. I'm not sure exactly how to do it, but we need to know we need it. And I tell you, it takes a lot to shock me. I've been around a long time. That shocked me. So, other than that, nothing else going on.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Comments and concerns from the commissioners.
Okay, I'll start. Here we go. No.
Oh, Gary.
I have made a request before regarding the cost of what it would take to improve the sound system for the recordings of the meetings and the ability for those who are attending to clearly understand what's being said by all of the members on the commission, the city attorney and the city manager. We've had complaints before that people can't hear what is being said. If you go back and you listen to the recordings, you know, a lot of times you can't, you turn the recording up all the way, you can't hear anything. So I think we need to look at and address that. And also, I was wondering if any of the other commissioners were aware that Don and Aaron have moved the ball games out of Oak Hill and up to Edgewater. Does anybody else know about it?
I didn't know that.
First I heard.
Yeah. That they're no longer using our city park, or at least the one over at Nancy Cummings.
They continue to use Mary Louise.
Well, they probably, I haven't heard that they aren't going to use Mary Deweese, but I've heard that they won't use Nancy Cummings, and they've moved their games up to Edgewater. up to the one up there on, next to
Just the games
Publix.
they would have at Nancy Cummings, or you don't know?
There were complaints about people parking on the grass. And the neighbors apparently were complaining about it, and so they pulled out of having their games over at Nancy Cummings and have taken them up to Edgewater.
To Whistle Stop.
To Whistle Stop, yeah, up there.
First I heard, we'll just have to look into it, see what we can find
Yeah.
out.
I mean, if they don't, you know, they,
What was their reason for moving?
because they were, apparently neighbors had complained about people parking on the grass over there, which is city property, which is the only place people can park. And they didn't want to deal with it, so they moved out. But never notified us and told us anything about it.
Did you speak to Donna Aaron directly?
No.
Okay.
And obviously Don and Aaron haven't come and spoken to anybody here,
No, we're not aware of it. We just heard rumors.
so.
Well, we can reach out, I mean, we can look at the provisions of the agreement itself.
Yeah.
And see if that's somehow compromises at least the spirit of the agreement. I don't think it would, but I don't know this for sure, so I'll have to verify it with
Yeah,
Don.
but I think it's something we need to check into, find out about. Timmy's back there. You have one of the teams, don't you?
I don't this year,
Not this year?
no.
Oh.
We did play in Edgewater.
Okay.
Do you know if they're still playing at Mary Louise?
Not that I know of.
Interesting.
I would be happy to find out.
Please.
The mayor and report back to the commission.
Yeah, because none of them have reached out to us.
Sorry, I wasn't aware of that. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
I was just made aware of it, and, yeah, they have an agreement with us. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from changing it, but the thing is, they should have addressed it with us.
That we knew
If
about
they're
it.
going, it would be nice to know about it, you know, on there.
Just to clarify, we've only received one concern, and they didn't want to file a complaint, I don't believe, or a comment card or anything to that matter. They called here and spoke to Tasha, and it was just about the parking. We haven't received multiple complaints or anything
Yeah.
of that sort. I did see the
So
tape.
what prompted them to up and leave?
I'm not sure, or if they are leaving, I'm not positive. We definitely need to look into that, but we did see
Yeah.
the tape, on our evening drive, so I was
Mhm.
wondering if it was something we did, or if something it was, you know, they did, or if it was something the residents did. I was trying to get to the bottom of that, because the area was taped off. with
I did
grass.
drive by there today and I saw yellow caution tape all along the street.
And
Who put
as far
that
as
up?
I'm aware, I don't believe Travis put that up, and I'm not sure.
Oh,
Are you aware of anything of such?
Yeah, I think he did.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to follow up with Travis tonight and talk to him, but I do recall that maybe a month ago or so,
Okay.
in response to some complaints about the conditions of the park and Wood Avenue, Wood Drive, sorry.
okay.
During the ball games, that not only was the field side being damaged by parking, but the folks who live on the south side of Wood, or their yards were being damaged by people who were parking in their yards.
Hmm.
So
When I drove through
That might
there,
be something that transpired.
I noticed there was a trailer
Precipitated
parked
this
on the side of the road, or on the road actually, on that street. And there's grass even growed around it, like it's been there for a minute.
Hmm.
And then there's a,
Towards the end?
yes, at the very end on the left. And then there's a Jeep that's been parked there too, that I noticed. Looks like grass has been cut around it and it's in the street. So people are using the street for parking, it looks like.
It would be nice to know exactly why they've pulled out, you know, if they're not gonna use the fields anymore and what's going on, because, you know,
It opens it up for other people.
other people can utilize the park then, you know. why they
We
have,
certainly
Pull
follow
out
up
that
with them.
there's a 30-day notice requirement in the contract,
yeah,
that's for sure.
so somebody just needs to check into that.
Please and thank you. Anything else, Carrie?
No, the other thing I already addressed with Mike Arman, so he already knows about that. We had a conversation before, that's all I have.
Nothing?
Nothing for you, Linda?
No.
You have anything, Joe?
Well, I'm a little bit concerned about the minutes of these meetings. I believe it's taken up a lot of staff time to develop them up to this level. It's, you know, as far as the detail is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not required. And
But we agreed that we wanted to have that detail at a meeting.
I didn't agree to this level. I mean, it's like a book,
Consensus did,
you know,
though.
every one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying.
No, I
You know, What
understand.
the hell? I mean, are you trying to shut me up here or
No,
what?
not at all.
I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry you
know,
felt that
I'm allowed
way.
I'm allowed to say, right?
Right.
If I feel that, so that's
Right.
what I'm saying.
But even when we accepted the minutes of the meetings, that would have been something to say then, too.
I think I did, but I don't think, I think this is overkill, and it takes up a lot of our staff's resources, and it's, you know, not really getting us anywhere other than to just have the staff sit there and have an exercise in futility. I think it's somewhere in the middle of this, but from what it used to be to what it is now, somewhere right in the middle. That way, they can be more concentrated on things that are actually getting used, because I don't see this as being like a big benefit for the amount of resources that it takes. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the minutes is all we have to pretty much remind us of what took place at a meeting. So the more detail, the better, I think, when it comes to the minutes.
I think
To
there's
know
a
what's
balance
talked about.
there. I mean, I agree that that would be ideal, but first of all, the minutes, I mean, as far as the verbatim is concerned, that's provided automatically by YouTube. I don't know how accurate it is, but apparently it actually gets translated into a text format.
Mm-hmm.
And the, you know, our city staff having to sit here and do labor over this for.
Well,
you know,
before-
'cause this is very detailed. It's not required.
I think before they were actually listening to the minutes, listening to the meeting, and actually handwriting or typing everything that was said.
She's the one that does it. Ask her.
Are you listening
Yeah, I
and
still
hand
listen.
typing everything?
I don't listen to every single word of it, and we actually have a program, but I just want to clarify, because she did mention she wanted, you know, detailed minutes, and you said
Exactly.
you would like more detail, but neither three of them, I do not believe, said anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the two of you, I don't know, there was no consensus.
There was.
Yeah,
There was a vote.
there was a consensus of
You
it,
can check the
and,
minutes or.
yeah.
We'll
double check.
The spirit of the discussion was that Megan started providing a lot of detail, which was a little bit of a deviation from recent past. And the conversation had to do with maybe rolling that back and finding somewhere in the middle,
Mhm.
as the commissioner just suggested, where the minutes would reflect what you're talking about. You want the history, you want to be able to go back and see what happened and who said what to a certain extent, but just a reminder that the minutes by statute are only provided to capture votes,
Mhm.
legislation. Everything else can be intended to be a summary, like the commission discussed this, the commission discussed that. If you want verbatim, staff will do whatever the commission wants.
no one's
But
asking
What we're
for,
trying to do is find that middle ground, and
Yeah.
and Megan's still working with that, because
Mhm.
kind of a perfectionist over here and tries to get it, and get the
Also-
detail right.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to roll it back a little bit, so there's a little bit more summary of certain matters, where in our discretion, we feel like maybe we should provide more detail on certain issues and maybe less on others, but I don't want to get too far down the road of summary. We'll find that middle ground and kind of tinker with
Do
it.
you also do the minutes for the planning board?
Mhm.
I listened to this last meeting and I noticed that they complimented you
Yeah.
on your minutes.
Yeah, they're very
See, everybody likes them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, the last couple minutes you guys received were not verbatim, they were summary, so.
Megan, how much time do you
approximately
We spend a lot of time.
I mean,
I spend a lot of
ballpark.
time, and then John has to review them, and it is
Gotcha.
lengthy. You guys have 2 meetings a month, and then you throw in a budget workshop or, extra meetings. I mean, just take that into consideration. If there is a meeting that you're like, hey, it's a hot topic, I would really like to have verbatim minutes, then by all means, but, I'm sure Mike Kelly may be able to talk on this. Verbatim minutes are a special type of minute, and people, court reporters and things like that, they hire people to do those, and it does take a lengthy amount of time to do them. So, like Joe mentioned, YouTube does summarize everything, and if it's something specific that you guys really want, I want more detailed information on this meeting, I'm happy to do it. But I think finding a middle ground, because we don't have a lot of employees here, and I know that you guys know that, and we all wear a lot of different hats, so it is sort of extra time that we're spending to do that.
And Megan, when you do your minutes, you reference YouTube, you go back to YouTube, and that's how you
Yeah, so I have
do it?
to, because I'm not
Okay.
always here, so closed caption, reading, some of them were honestly genuine mistakes, I know you're not a key, so just typos, so, but yes, we do reference YouTube, because that's what we use to stream all the videos, so absolutely.
Maybe if we could hear YouTube better,
Mhm.
that would make a big difference.
Yeah, I made a note about that as well. Because there's lots of times too in the meetings where people do not come to the podium and state their name and address, so I have no idea who's talking, because I'm not physically here like you guys are, and maybe you
Right.
guys don't recall that person's name or who they are, or you've never seen them before. So that's also very important. So, I don't want to be a stickler, but it's just important because there's people watching who also don't know the person that's speaking at the podium.
So could we possibly summarize the minutes and make them a little easier for you? And then
Yeah.
as needed, we could go back, if we needed the information, go back, reference, and you could go into a more detailed minutes? Is that
Yeah,
an option
it's
maybe
needed.
that we could,
Yeah.
to make a little, take a little effort off, or a little?
I just don't,
work off
I
the
wouldn't
staff?
want to see the minutes cut back to a point that Joe talked about this, Carrie talked about that, one sentence type things. The importance of knowing the actual conversation and, do you have to have, we're not asking you to be a stenographer and write every single thing
Correct.
down, but, to do a
last
detailed
couple
summary
minutes,
so
right.
that people can read it and know what was being put on there.
Right, so the last couple minutes that I did were a lot less than the ones before that, so.
Yeah, so there could be a little bit of a compromise in there, but the detail, I feel, is very, very important, because that's something that people go back and look at, and, even we can refer back to them instead of having, because sometimes on the recordings, you can't hear everything that
Well,
a
you can't hear it,
person,
I can't either, so.
yeah, but,
Can you do a consensus at the end of each meeting and say, does anybody want extreme detailed minutes for this meeting? And if one of you speaks up and says, hey, this is a hot topic and I want to make sure what I said is in those minutes on written record, then so be it, put them on. Otherwise, if it was a, hey, we went to the park and we had a hot dog
Good
cookout,
idea.
do we really need to put every word that was said? And just at the
Yeah,
end of the meeting,
and-
y'all can say, hey, anybody want this to be a detailed minutes because of this hot topic?
basically, Neil, we don't ask for verbatim, we're not asking for a transcript, we're asking for basically a summary of whatever topic was before the commission, and it's just to give somewhat of a summary
If
of
the
what the
audio's fixed,
conversation
verbatim
is
will be
about.
available. If the audio's fixed, that's just step one, the verbatim is available, if we have to go back. It's a huge hot topic, you got citizens upset, you got commissioners upset, there's a big thing going on, then hey, go up there and say, hey, can we vote to have this as close to verbatim of minutes for this meeting, because this is a serious situation. I see that as a fast, easy way to do it at the end of each meeting. Anybody feel this needs to be verbatim because it had something,
Well, I don't
really
think any of
verbatim?
us have ever asked for it to be
Not verbatim,
verbatim,
but
but we're
highly
asking
detailed.
for,
We'll change the semantics and say highly
Right.
detailed.
yeah.
All right. Anything else, Joe? Anything for you, Mark?
Speed bumps, I had a resident ask me about the speed bumps on Canal and why they got removed. And, because I don't remember, I mean, I remember discussing it, but I didn't remember voting or anything.
We removed them because they were causing major problems for one particular homeowner
Okay.
on Canal Avenue. We did
Gotcha.
that as a favor, and it was the actual resident that requested them in the first place.
Okay.
So,
Be careful what you wish for, you
yeah,
may get.
those will be relocated if the commission decides.
Gotcha. On Canal, you're just gonna,
Yes.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
we still have those.
Okay. Yeah, he was concerned about that. Also, I drove by the park yesterday, saw two people in the dugout at the ball field, just taking up camp and making a day of it there and making a homeless camp there in the dugout. So I called the sheriff's department, and Officer Blackwell come out, responded, did a phenomenal job, caught those guys off guard, and trespassed them, and also caught them with drug paraphernalia. So just want to give them kudos.
Good job for them.
Kudos for you.
Good job.
Kudos for them, they did it.
You caught it.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal job, so I just want to give them a shout out.
Nothing from me. I'm good.
Linda,
Done.
Done. Everybody's done.
motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right. Thank you all. Meeting adjourned.